Hi, it is July, which is insane to say, but it also means it is time to build our July TBR. In the past month, I did a 10-book TBR and I didn't read all of them. Actually, in any of my previous TBR, I think I read all of them, but I still like making them because I feel like they give me some kind of direction towards what books I need to read, and it makes me feel a little bit less overwhelmed by my ever-growing physical TBR and also the Kindle TBR. So this month again I will be picking 10 different prompts and choosing 10 different books to read in July. Hopefully I will be picking prompts that are inside these that I haven't picked before in the past couple of months, because there are some prompts that I just keep picking up. So I'm trying to really go deep into the cookie jar and pick a prompt I haven't picked before. I almost saw that one, so let's pick another one. Ooh. Have I opened this? An old book. What would an old book entail? Does this mean a book that was released many years ago? Does this mean a book I own for many years? Ooh, that's interesting. I'm going to use this prompt as an excuse to pick It Starts With Us by Colin Hoover. This is not necessarily an old book in the sense that it was released a long time ago, but it is an old book in the sense that it has been on my TBR for over a year, and I haven't read it yet, even though I want to finish this duology. And I'm going to pick It Starts With Us. It is old, not exactly, but it has been a long time on my physical TBR, so let's put It Starts With Us. It's kind of a weird book to pick first, but either way, I'm just looking for an excuse to read this book. Next prompt, I don't think I have ever picked this one. It is a small little one, a classic. So this is also a prompt I can have a lot of books to pick, but I know exactly which classic I want to pick, and it is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This is a book that inspired Tolerated by Taylor Swift. I've been wanting to read for quite some time. I own this book for also quite some time. I never got to it, but hopefully I do get to it this month. Where did that prompt go? Oh, here. Let's pick a third prompt because we still have quite a few books to pick in this video. This seemed like I had already opened before. Unhinged the Main Character. Yeah, I picked this book before. I picked this prompt before. Last month I think I picked it and I put My Year of Rest and Relaxation in it. Maybe we should try and pick a different prompt. What is this prompt that fell? Oh, I'm going to use this one also. I have a few books that we can say, oh, this main character is unhinged. I put My Year of Rest and Relaxation last month, and I'm very tempted to put it again this month, but I think I'm going to change it to Night Beach by Rachel Yoder, because this book is also being turned into a movie, and apparently this is about a woman, and I thought she was kind of having some crisis in her, some like not middle age, but some kind of identity crisis, and turns out apparently she thinks she's being turned into a dog or something like that. Apparently it is even weirder than I thought it is. So let me put my Night Witch and pick the prompt I found on the ground. That mysterious prompt that just fell off the jar. A book in Portuguese. So should this be a book that was translated to Portuguese? Should this be a book that was written in Portuguese? I'm going to again use this prompt as an excuse to pick a book that was translated, and I will pick Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. This is a collection of short stories that takes place in this magical cafe where people can go and they can talk with people that have already passed, and that is until the coffee gets cold. And it is a book I have been really interested about, curious. I heard really great things, so I'm going to put Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and this edition that I own, it is translated to Portuguese. Now let's pick a 5th prompt. This is just only one prompt. It is Modern Family vibes. I love Modern Family. It is one of my favorite TV shows. And I don't know what book do I own that has these vibes of Modern Family, like an ensemble of characters that are related. The first book that comes to my mind is one that I'm already reading, which is Happy Place. But I'm already finishing it, so I can't put it on this TBR. Ideally, we want something funny. I feel like I don't have. If you see any book with these vibes, please let me know. But from what I'm aware, I don't think I have one that gives pure Modern Family vibes. I think the closest one might be Wildfire by Hannah Grace, but I might be like completely wrong. The reason why I think Wildfire might be is because on Icebreaker we had that big friend group and they all lived in one house and they were really close. But I think this one takes place in a camp. So I'm going to put Wildfire. My prompts, they are not making so much sense with the books I'm picking, but I hope it is funny because it is a rom-com and it is a camp, so we'll have a lot of characters. But honestly, if you see any books in this physical TBR that feels like Modern Family, please let me know. I think when I did that prompt, I might have had one. Let's pick a 6th prompt because I have 5 books. This is only one. Okay. You might like, but you might also hate this book. Oh, I'm not sure what book to pick. In my head, that would be either some Russian classic, because I haven't really loved a Russian classic, and there are some that it is okay, then there are others that I really don't like. So I feel like I might like or hate the next one, but also one that I'm looking here that I feel like I might like or I might hate. It is 1K84 by Haruki Murakami, because this is like sci-fi-esque apparently, but also it is a really big book, and I have a history of liking big books and series. But also I heard Haruki Murakami writes women in a way that it is awful. So I'm going to book 1K84. Maybe I'll get to this book this month. I had this book, I own it for I think over 4 years now. Let's pick a 7th prompt. I don't think I have ever picked this one. And it is Vigilante Shit, which is one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs. It was my top song of 2022. My favorite performance from the Eras tour. So, a revenge story. What do I own that I know we have revenge? I'll use this also. I love this prompt already because I have the perfect book for it, and it is a book I really want to read this month, and it is As Good as Dead by Holly Black. This is the last book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, and I just finished Good Girl Bad Blood this month and I really enjoyed it. I really like the series, so I'm going to put this book and read it because I also got a mild spoiler for it, and it looks so interesting, more dark than the others, and that's why I love spoilers. They always make me they usually make me more excited for reading books. So yeah, I have 7 books. Let's pick an 8th book. What is this prompt? A book I don't hear people talking about. Ooh, interesting. I feel like we could have some options for this one. Let's look at the Kindle. Okay, so I already know which book I will pick. It is called Fake It to the Limit by Mary Frame, and the reason why I'll pick this book is because, little funny story, I accidentally bought the whole series on Kindle one day. I don't know how, but I accidentally bought it. I never heard anyone talk about this book. I'm not sure if I'll enjoy this book because it's apparently a suspenseful romance or a mystery romance, and it involves cop and I think a con artist. I never heard anyone talk about this book, and I already paid for it, and this was before that time I knew that you could actually return Kindle books if you haven't read them. So let's fake it to the limit. Let's read this series I accidentally bought. So that would be book 8. Let's pick book 9. What is it? A YA book. So we have some options here, but I know exactly the one I want to read this month because I even already bought the sequel because I really want to read this book, and it is The Stolen Heir. Ooh! Now the cover is kind of red because I just hit it on my lipstick, but that's fine. Most of my books have some kind of red lipstick mark to it, either outside or inside. But The Stolen Heir, this is the story of Oak and I think that little weird fairy from the Cruel Prince, and I really like the Folk of the Air trilogy. I like the atmosphere, I like the characters, and I'm really curious about this one. So this is a YA book, a YA fantasy book. Let's pick the 10th and final book for TBR. Hopefully a prompt I haven't picked before. What is this prompt? This book was published before 2020. I don't think I have ever picked this prompt, but it's an interesting one. Now, which book do I own that has been published before 2020? Quite a few. Any classic will have been published before 2020. I think I already know which book I want to read. Let's open the Kindle again. Let's see if I already downloaded it. No, I opened The Heartbreak Loop by Stephen Archer, but that isn't the book I want. Yes, here. The Beautiful and the Damned by F. Scott Fitzgerald. This book definitely was written before 2020. And that will be the 10th and final book in this TBR. Now let's do a little recap of all the books that are on this July TBR. So, the 10 books on this July TBR. Let's put it here. The jar. Should we go? How do we do this? Let me do like this. Maybe it is better. Woo. I think you can see my hair clip, which is kind of embarrassing because I have a lot of beautiful hair clips, but the one that holds my hair the better, of course, is the one that looks the worst. Please ignore that one. But let's recap the 10 books in this TBR. First we have It Starts With Us, and the prompt for this one was an old book, and this book is old in the sense that it has been on my TBR for over a year, and I have been wanting to read and finish this trilogy for over a year. Then we have Rebecca. This is the second book in our TBR, and the prompt for this one was a classic. Night Beach by Rachel Yoder. The prompt for this one was an unhinged main character. Then we have Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. The prompt for this one was a book in Portuguese, and the reason why I picked this one, even though the author is Japanese, is because my edition is translated to Portuguese. The 5th book in this TBR, it is Wildfire by Hannah Grace. This is a book I have a feeling it won't necessarily fulfill this prompt, but I think it's the closest to it that I can think of at the moment. Please, if you see any book on my physical TBR that fits this prompt better, please let me know. Or if you have any book that fits this prompt and that might not be on my physical or digital TBR, please let me know, because now I really want to read a book with this prompt, which is a Modern Family vibes book. I love Modern Family, so maybe a book that it is Modern Family vibes would be amazing. Imagine Cam as a fictional character in a book. It would be amazing. Next book, it is 1K84 by Haruki Murakami. And the prompt for this one, it is, you might like this, but you also might hate this book. And Haruki Murakami, I heard he writes women in a way that is not that great. It is very sexist, but also this is sci-fi-esque, and it is very long. And I like very long books, and I like sci-fi. Next book prompt was Visual in the Sheet by... Visual in the Sheet is the song by Taylor Swift, so I picked As Good as Dead by Holly Black. This is the last book in the Good Girls Guide to Murder series, and I got a little spoiled for it, and apparently it really fits Visual in the Sheet. And the plot for this book, I have a feeling it is very Visual in the Sheet-esque. Then the next prompt was a book I don't hear people talking about. The prompt almost fell. And it is that book from my Kindle that I already forgot the name. I'll put the image here, or maybe I should just stop. It is Fake It to the Limit by Mary Frame, a book I accidentally bought on Kindle and I don't hear people talking about, that I want to read because I already own it. The next prompt was a YA book, and for that one I picked The Stolen Air, now with a mark of my red lipstick. It is the trademark. And then the last prompt for this July TBR was a book that was published by before 2020, and for this one I picked The Beautiful and the Damned by F. Scott Fitzgerald because it is a classic. It was written before 2020. So that's all the 10 books for my July TBR. If you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and hopefully I will see you soon. Also, let me know what books do you hope to read in July. I'm curious. Bye!